Hey guys, it's ArchieLuxury. How are you today? Guys, I'm gonna make a video today, which is it's a video it's answering a question, which is I think is a fairly good question. It was this is my good friend George. I've done a few vids. He's sent me money in the past. I'm just gonna do this video because he asked me a good question for a vid. So I thought we'd do this. He goes, I haven't seen you cover the 40mm Yachtmaster much. I'm wondering why. I think it's a good alternative if a Rolex buyer does not want the common Submariner. Before we start this here, let's do a quick wristwatch check. Millie, the Milgauss. I'm wearing a Milgauss. This is the Z Blue. Z Blue. Just one of my favorite Milgausses of all time. Okay, what do I think of the 40mm Yachtmaster? We're talking Yachtmaster 1. And I gotta be totally honest with you, the Yachtmaster is a bit of a 90s throwback. I remember when it came out, it was kind of so cool. I was on Turfers, the new Rolex, actually new Turfers, the ultimate Rolex forum. I was on Turfers and the Yachtmaster was so cool. Now it's kind of like that pink feature wall or that grey lounge suite. Dated. And the big problem I have with the Yachty is that it's kind of, how do I put this? It's very cliche. It's very, you know, deck shoes. It's from a bygone era. Yuppies and deck shoes and, you know what I mean? It's kind of, it's kind of a bit dated. So the Yachtmaster itself, it came out in 1997. Wow. Yeah, the Yachtmaster 2, Yachtmaster 2 came out in 2010. Okay, interesting. I thought it was before that, but the thing is, the Yachtmaster itself, it's, in my opinion, I've always loved the Submariner. And I think it's pretty damn hard to beat the classic. You know, the classic black dial, black bezel. And okay, I know there's also two-tone, there's bluesies, there's Kermits, you know, Hulks. Okay, but for me, the Submariner with the black dial, black bezel is just absolutely legendary. It's absolutely legendary. I gotta tell you the truth, there's nothing wrong with the Yachtmaster. In fact, the Yachtmaster is kind of a little more polished, a little more perfect. It's kind of, the Submariner is the hard, you know, it's successful, but he's done it himself, self-made man. Whereas the Yachtmaster, he went to a private school. You know what I mean? He's kind of a bit of a... And in many ways, the Yachtmaster carries on the legacy from the Submariner. So, in my opinion there, the Yachtmasters, when they were new, they were more expensive than the Sub because of that platinum bezel on the steel. They were always a bit more, and I thought, why would you do that? You know what I mean? You would always go with the traditional Submariner, and then in second-hand value, okay, in second-hand value, now they're a bit cheaper. You can get them cheaper than a Submariner, the less desired, like the silver dial and that there. But in my opinion, I think it's not so much there's anything wrong with the Yachtmaster, it's just that the Submariner is so legendary. So to answer your question, look, George, I have actually done a few vids on Yachtmasters in recent times. Go to the Paul Pluta channel and you can search for Yachtmaster, and I've got a few vids there. A couple people have said that to me. What do I think of them? And I think a Yachtmaster is an amazing watch. I do. Why haven't I covered it? It's not that there's anything wrong with the Yachtmaster. It's that the Submariner is the gold standard. I mean, it is probably the world's most famous sports watch. Rolex Sub. It invented the genre. Okay? It has, it's got #1 billing. I think, the Submariner, for whatever reason, is the world's most famous, most desired sports watch. So I kind of look at the Yachty, and it is an amazing watch, but that's kind of the thing. It's a bit like, why don't we talk about Datejust? They're an amazing watch, but the sports line is, the professional line is so much cooler. That's kind of the situation. Now what's happened is the Rolex buyer can't get his hands on a Submariner, so then he gets a Yachtmaster. I must say, my favorite Yachtmaster, okay, so firstly, there's two animals. There's two camps. You've got the Yachtmaster and you've got Yachtmaster 2. The Yachtmaster 2 is a flyback chronograph timing system for climbing yachting regattas. Okay, the Yachtmaster 1 is basically, it's got the bezel. It's very similar to the Submariner. I will say this, is that I think it is an amazing watch. It is a fantastic watch. However, I'd always go Submariner. My favorite Yachtmaster is the blue dial, the steel with the platinum bezel, blue dial. And I must admit, the solid gold Yachtmaster with the blue is also amazing, because I love that bezel, which it's in gold, of course, not platinum. And I even love the two-tone Yachtmaster. They are absolutely gorgeous. Then we've got Yachtmaster 2, which is a completely different animal. The interesting thing is, my absolute favorite Yachtmaster of all time, well, this is one of my favorite watches of all time, if money was no object, is the white gold Yachtmaster. White gold Yachtmaster on the rubber. And I've got to tell you, that, in my opinion, is one of the most gorgeous. Now, I got to tell you, the rose gold in the two-tone is amazing as well. I think that is a beautiful combo meal deal. It's the Yachtmaster. It's a 42. Yachtmaster 42. And I got to tell you, interestingly enough, when I picked up my Submariner from MJT, that's my 41mm date steel sub, he was wearing the Yachtmaster 42, white gold, on a rubber Rolex strap. And I think that is probably the nicest diver I've ever seen. Because the thing I loved about the Yachtmaster 42 is that it's so under the radar. White gold, it looks like steel. And it's black. It uses the black dial and the black rubber on the bezel. So, totally honest with you, I would say the white gold Yachtmaster 42 is on the rubber, the Oyster Flex. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. It's discreet. It's not obnoxious. It's just beautiful. But if I was picking a watch to get through life, I would have to tell you the Submariner is the one to pick. Okay? I think it's hard to explain, because you look at a Submariner and you think it's a bit plain, it's nothing that special. Was it the first? Possibly not. Blank Pain may have beat them. But, you know, I think Rolex didn't copy the Blank Pain. All these companies had divers coming out at the time. The Submariner is kind of, Rolex put a lot of effort into waterproofing from way, way, way back. So, you know, Rolex has got a good track record here. The Submariner itself is just so strong. It is so strong. The funny thing is, you know, I had a no-date sub. I had a 14060. That's the Sapphire two-liner. I'd put it on NATOs. I put it on leather straps. That watch was cool beyond belief. That's probably one of the biggest regrets I have, is selling that particular piece. And then, you know what happens, don't you? I was never, you know, I owned a sub date in the late 90s. I had a 16610. And I sold it for personal reasons, ran out of money. Then I wore Scotty's watch in Hong Kong. I took it, he gave it to me to try. And I got to tell you, when you put on a Submariner, you think it's overpriced for what it is, blah, 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 it's steel, it's, you know, all the criticisms. Then you actually wear the damn thing. And I got to tell you, it's so powerful. It's just amazing. A Rolex sub. It's greater than the sum of the parts. That's the whole thing with the Rolex Submariner date. And when I had a chance to get a Steel Sports Rolex from MJT, I thought about it hard, and I thought, what do I really want? Yes, I'd like a Chrono Daytona, but they're harder to get. Yes, the Pepsi. But I thought, what do I want as number one? Numero uno. I got to tell you, the sub date is just, it's hard to describe. Unless you've actually tasted it and sampled it, you think, this watch is amazing. And it could be a one and done. Submariner steel sub date could be a one and done. And I got to be totally honest with you. I'm never, ever going to sell my Submariner date. Never. Never, 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 never. Never, 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 never selling it. Submariner sub date. It's just, it's so cool. It is such a cool watch. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. It is so cool. It's just, and that's the problem with the Yachtmaster, is that it's not that the Yachtmaster is flawed or it's got problems or da-da-da-da-da. It's that the Submariner, for similar money, similar design spec, it is just so powerful. I'd always recommend the Submariner. That's the problem. I love the white gold Yachtmaster 42. I think that's one of the greatest watches you could buy. In fact, if I was to get a gold Rolex, that would be it, because it's discreet. White gold with black. Nobody knows what it is unless you're an enthusiast. And the attention to detail, the workmanship on it is just beautiful. So to answer the question, there's nothing wrong with the Yachtmaster. It's just that the sub is the legend. I'm ArchieLuxury. This has been a, I did this for George. Occasionally, he didn't send me any money or anything like that, but I thought it was a fair question. I thought, you know, I'll make a vid for that. So that's exactly why I did it. And yeah, I think Yachtmaster's a great watch, but I'd always get the sub. Get the sub! Get the Submariner, boys. Okay? I will catch you in the next one. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury. And who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends, and don't be afraid to get a paid review. $50 US for a paid review. It helps me stay full-time on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one. $50 US paid review. I can't survive on Google Ads. I need your support. And guys, you could also sponsor me on Patreon. Patreon allows you to pay as little as $1 a month to keep me on YouTube. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the Pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.